Wanted to update you guys and check in as we discuss Blade Runner and as we get ready for the midterm. Midterm opened last night, stroke of midnight, and it will close tonight just before midnight at 11:55. So make sure you get that done. It shouldn't be too difficult if you've done the reading and you have the book in front of you, but you don't want to be looking up every answer or you'll run out of time. So I took a dry run of it myself this morning from the student view, and everything is running smoothly with it. But again, if you have any issues at all, email me right away. Okay, on to Blade Runner. Blade Runner, it's one of those films, it's not an easy film to analyze and digest, and students sometimes struggle with it. I saw some of that in reading all of the posts. Some of them were exceptionally good. Others, it just seemed like some of you were really confused and you really didn't have the depth in your response that you had on some of the other films. So I'll go over that when I do the grading. Some basic themes in here. Interestingly enough, some of you caught on to the fact that Ridley Scott is making us think about whether or not Deckard is a replicant. A couple of you mentioned the doves at the end, that motif. And what that could be is some people see Roy as almost like a Christ figure, and he's really sacrificing himself for Deckard because he knows Deckard's a replicant, but that's just a theory. Another way to see Roy is almost like a Frankenstein's monster, where he does kill his creator at the end of the film, but does spare Deckard because it's really his creator that he wants to seek revenge on because he's got this life that humans view as really insignificant. And that's really one of the major themes of the film, is how is humanity connected to morality? Because oftentimes the replicants are almost, I think the expression comes from this film, more human than human, because they're able to show a stronger moral compass in some ways than some of the human beings are in the film. Another thing that concerned me while reading the posts, I want to make sure everyone understands what abstract cuts are, because filmmakers use them selectively, and I want you to be able to identify them when you see them. They'll be in the next film that we're going to do, Fight Club. An abstract cut is when the next shot is something that doesn't necessarily follow. Like when they cut to the unicorn's not in the room with them. It's not in the scene. It's just this abstract cut to an idea. What that idea could be, because one of Deckard's colleagues leaves the origami unicorn behind at the end. They talked about how replicants don't have memories of their own, that they're implanted with things. And perhaps that image of a unicorn is something that's implanted in the minds of replicants, and that's his colleague's way of saying, you know, you're a replicant and you're going to be retired next, which might ultimately be why Deckard runs away with Rachel at the end. So just something to think about. These are all just theories. Okay, so yeah, those are abstract cuts. And think about, as you continue your discussion, think about how you see the replicants and where they stand in terms of their morality, and what it really means to be human. What does Scott think it means to be human? You could almost tie the themes of morality in this film back to the kid, whereas in the kid, Chaplin is saying morality has absolutely nothing to do with social status, that you could be on the bottom rung of society and have moral high ground over society's quote-unquote best and brightest. Just like in this film, Scott is saying being human does not necessarily make you moral, and being non-human, being a replicant, doesn't necessarily make you immoral. So it's this idea of morality and what makes a moral being.